government level will be shaken and they'll have to do something. Sell, a carrier through. Just kidding, but you know what I mean, okay? So, but coming finally to Junwei's question, I've been thinking about it as well. Maybe eventually, maybe within this year, we should have, not just here, which is a little bit NCTS North initiated oriented. After sitting here, I noticed that we have NTU experimentalists here, but not elsewhere. We can probably have a town meeting and have a somewhat society consensus saying that Taiwan, although a small community, supports this big project in China. I think that may be a good thing. But in reverse, I've written to some of you, I don't think the Chinese side really considers us. I think we're just an outside small island. We have to accept and admit that, okay? But to echo your point, your question, it's not touchy. I think as a community, having a facility there for the next 40, 50 years is a good thing. And if we speak up in support, I think China's side will appreciate it, but it's not just for them to appreciate, but it's just saying that we support it, okay? Okay,
To me, usually, I like to do things more systematically. Okay, so in terms of the physics reach, of course the Hadron Collider, the LHC, up to probably after round 2 in the phase 2, probably the first priority, because these are the potential discovery. Okay, discovery potentials for new physics anyway. Then, of course, the accelerated R&Ds, in some sense, for both IOC and say the circular collider, or even the PP collider, has to, in some sense, to move on. So there's a strategy here. In some sense, we may have to wait for a few years. I think IOC, okay, in some sense depend on the world economy. So if the US and Europe, together with Japan, in the next 5 years, if the economy really recovers well, then I think that definitely has a good potential, can move on. Otherwise, I think we will know in a couple of years that kind of decision, go or not go. Or then the Chinese part, it's very clear. It takes, probably 5 years R&D in technology and many things. So the final decision, in some sense, you can wait it out for a couple of years. Then, of course, the funding has to sustain. This is a very long project, many years. So if the economy has a problem in the future, after 5 years, so all these machines will be affected. So in some sense, we definitely would like to support this kind of the machine for new physics, and but also we'll have to see how it actually play out.
Remark on touching on what Jack said. My support of CPC definitely does not mean that we rush over. So my view of support from Taiwan is like what Jack said, and this is what I've been telling Japanese colleagues as well. We are a small community. I'm talking about experiment. So we cannot sustain ourselves on R&D. We have to run on projects, building hardware, do data mining and so on. So certainly SVPC is too far away. So we also need intermediate projects. So our support is really just saying that it's a good thing we support, but maybe we join some level of simulations and R&D, but it cannot. China is they need to build a much bigger society.
Also, I think Yifan is playing this very safely, well, very carefully. He doesn't want to go out to ask to just say that it will be built and we need everybody's help right now. So right now, in terms of international help, mostly they are in the theory side. That's what the center is. I think only when they get really next year, if they get a bigger R&D money, they may reach out for other help from other areas more. So it's sort of normal that right now they don't seem to ask Taiwan for anything. Of course, Taiwan is also a small community too, but I think in some sense they are not other than theory side. Right now they are not very active going out and seeking for help. Yeah.
I think it's already have 1 hour and roughly 40 minutes meeting and discussion, lot of discussion here, and of course this future machine is still unclear, but it's a very complicated proposal anyway, but we need the money and the manpower and technology. What? So the proposal in China probably is the problem will be the less, I think, because they have money. The only thing is probably to aid the education and the technology, right? And for US and Europe, and probably some problem about money and other issues. Anyway, so today I think we have many information, and we have a picture about this proposal and several possibilities about the future machine. So so I think it's time to close up this meeting, and let's thanks the Hsin-Chia for the introduction and all the panelists. Thank you.